He's full of shit.
We probably should have bleeped that. All right, they don't give speeches anymore. They give full-fledged performances. We were talking about El Sayed. That's what President Trump was speaking about. Also, look, they're very similar looking guys right here. Marxist Mayor Mamdani and Abdul El Sayed are now the new Democrat darlings, dominating the spotlight in our social media feeds. Dr. El Sayed just won Michigan's Democratic Senate primary, and there's already talk that he should run for president. He's a very well-spoken guy. But both Mamdani and El Sayed and others, they are taking wolf in sheep's clothing to a whole new level. World-renowned body language expert Scott Rouse joins us to break down what's happening on screen that's really pulling voters in. Clearly, it's resonating. I want you to take a look at this, Scott. El Sayed this morning discussing his supposed love for the Jewish people. Watch this.
I love and revere Judaism and the Jewish people. I believe they're a light unto the world. I grew up in a community that had a large Jewish population. I was so grateful to get to be invited to Seder and to Shul and to bar and bat mitzvahs. I'm really honored for what I learned and got to share with my Jewish sisters and brothers.
Okay, you are a body language expert. Is he telling the truth, Scott?
Every time he starts recalling what his speech or something he's memorized, we'll watch his blink rate, and we'll watch the shutter speed on his eyes. They close and stay closed a little bit longer every time he's recalling something. So that's prepared answer number two. And then number one, when he's not being honest or when I'm under the impression he's being deceptive, you'll see him go back and forth a little bit as he's doing it. Now, that's if you'll watch his past videos and interviews, you'll see that almost every time. If you go, is that true or not? And you're looking at him, he'll be going back and forth like that just a little bit, which he's doing right there.
And, you know, El Sayed, again, he's a doctor. He never misses an opportunity to make his healthcare policy sound convincing. Listen to this.
Doctor, how you going to pay for that? I don't know. Maybe instead of $252 billion to a rogue agency like ICE, maybe we can actually keep our money here to provide healthcare here. We can have a secure border. We can enforce immigration policy, but we can do it without shooting people in the face or the back of the head.
You notice he sounds different than he just sounded on Meet the Press. Talk to us about that.
That's his Obama impersonation, and he does that as well when he's trying to. When it goes back to somebody talk about him, and he goes, "Me, I like the so-and-so," and he starts imitating Obama. These are all classic Obama moves. I studied him for years. I know what that looks like. Everybody knows what that looks like and what it sounds like. And then no matter where you put him, he's going to put an affectation of whatever he thinks the crowd's intellectual level is. That's where he's going to go, and that's where he's done there. It's disrespectful, really.
Take a listen to Mamdani. He also has this knack of kind of switching his speech patterns to suit the audience he's speaking to.
I actually created a playlist for Mira, who also happens to be my mother. You know, nepotism and hard work goes a long way.
And in an interview with the Turkish-American podcast, Mamdani sounded different again.
I'll be honest with you, Brother Mansoum, is that at this point, not many people are thinking about it.
And here is Zoran during his rapper days.
You know, it would have been here earlier, but worldwide tour is a worldwide tour is a worldwide tour. Yeah.
This is acting 101.
Yeah, that's all fake. And they'll take on the personality type of whoever they're dealing to, whoever their demographic is at the time. So that's why it's easy for them because they're used to doing that. And they've seen Americans do it. We've seen politicians do it in America, but it's not as heavy as this, except in some cases when they try to act really Southern. I'm Southern. I know when I hear a fake one, but that's what happens here. And they overdo it because they don't realize it's something that should be. You take it slowly to make it sound believable, and they're not doing that. They really lay into it.
And people are buying it hook, line, and sinker. Thank you, Scott Rouse. Thank you, sir. All right, let's unpack these charismatic chameleons with our in-studio panelists, John Schell, Monica Plock, and Jonathan Alpert. So we just watched that breakdown. I mean, were you surprised? I mean, I saw your face, Monica, when he started the accent,
Yeah.
the Ugandan accent.
I was like, really? Come on. Seriously, how can you pull off a different accent for different appearances? And it's so sad that it's like working with young people and influencers, and it really just shows the power of modern politics today and how social media is feeding into it, and the endorsements that, you know, Mamdani was getting when he was running originally, whether it was supermodels to celebrities in New York. People were just eating it up, Lydia.
This guy is the mayor of New York City.
I call all these people a performative grifters that can speak very well. And when you combine that and put onto social media in a minute 30 short, and you're speaking to young Americans who are kind of lost in the sauce, they buy into it. But at the end of the day, what they're preaching as a whole is going to fail. So this is a fad right now. It sounds great, TikTok and performance and change of voices. And the Democrats have been changing voices for years. Biden did it. AOC just did it. They all do it. It's in their playbook.
Right.
It never works. And again, we go back to the last segment. It's very insulting, to be honest with you.
Right, and their big bad boogeyman is always President Trump. Like, being Trump derangement syndrome is cool.
But at least Trump is always maintaining the same voice. He's not trying to put on a Southern accent in the South. He's not trying to act a different way in California. Like, what you see is what you get. And frankly, I find that refreshing. But with TDS, I mean, a lot of people ask me about that. And Trump derangement syndrome, although it's not an actual diagnosis, the pathology is real. And I always make clear that it doesn't exist. But when you are, you know, kept up at night because of Trump, or interpersonal relationships are impaired because of Trump, or you're just mentally unwell because of him, that's a real concern to me as a therapist, and we should all pay attention to that.
I mean, Monica, I see it in social media that a topic that has nothing to do with politics, and they'll post about Trump. I mean, it's true. Trump keeps people up at night. This obsession to go after him, the Democrat Party. What does this mean, though? Is the GOP messaging off? Because I feel like young people think that he doesn't care about the economy. He cares about only funding foreign wars. So how does the GOP fix that problem?
So, Lydia, I think you bring up an excellent point, and I keep flagging this. Among young people in particular with the Republican Party, we have got to get our messaging in order. Think about it. How are you going to make go to work and pay your taxes cool again? Right? The socialists don't want that. They are going up against the establishment, and they're, you know, sitting there, whether it's to your point, the victim mindset, entitlement, you know, work for myself type thing. My question is, what is the Republican Party going to do moving forward to attract those young voters back?
But, you know, we also have to stop talking about back in my day, you know, we walked through 3 feet of snow.
We do that a lot. We are definitely very guilty of that. Like, why aren't we schooling up?
But I think we should go back to the little bit, right?
maybe a little bit.
So we have to you know, we parent our kids, coach our friends, coach the kids about working hard, showing up, being punctual, being accountable, taking out the garbage, shovel the snow, walk to school. We made them all soft. And this is why they're gravitating towards the performative grifters, because they're selling what they want to hear. We got to coach these kids saying, listen, if you don't do this, you're gonna come in second place all the time.
But we're also talking about grievance culture, where people love to hate people. I mean, we saw this play out with Luigi Mangione. You know, this person had a problem with the health insurance industry, and it's easy to blame others.
Everybody else's fault.
One thing also to bring up, though, increasingly young people after COVID are single, lonely, and doing their jobs over social media. You see that pattern a lot. And how are they getting their news? They're getting it through social, they're getting it through TikTok, they're getting it through Instagram. And you're seeing this culture being fed to them through these platforms. And so I think changing that mindset, or being able to at least have a conversation about it, will, you know, hopefully help the other party, in this case, the Republican
There's
Party.
no doubt that COVID created a mental health crisis. I saw rising rates of anxiety, depression, isolation, like you mentioned, but also an impairment in social interaction. I know people, young people, who don't know how to check in at a restaurant with a maitre d' because they didn't develop those social
I know young
skills.
people who don't know how to talk on the phone.
Yes.
I know that
They don't
too.
know how to talk on the phone.
They don't want to talk on the phone.
They don't know
They
how
think
to.
a text will solve everyone's
so,
problems today.
I'll say there's a guy that works here. I won't say who. He's 40 years old and his girlfriend is 26. Okay, that's a you know who it is, John Glasgow. And okay.
I didn't know. Good
Okay, good for John, but he's like, oh, I have difficulty sometimes talking to her on the phone. She doesn't want to talk on the phone. She only wants to text me. I said, John, because she's half your age. That generation doesn't know. I sound like I'm an old person now.
We talk in emojis. Just talking
100%.
emojis. But I tell you what, the last segment, I go home, I'm going to stop blinking when I talk to my wife. I'm going to be like this, my eyes, don't blink. Though I'm lying.
Real quick before we go, AOC went on social media talking about freezing her eggs. What kind of message? I'll ask the lady here, because she's a young woman. What kind of, because as we know, IVF is not 100% guaranteed.
It's not. And
it fails more than fails way more than it
it's
succeeds.
also a $15,000 to $25,000 job that's not covered, and the socialists are getting it. That's what I want to bring up, is that medical insurance does not cover this procedure easily unless there's an underlying illness. And it's so unfortunate. It's so hypocritical of AOC to go step in and say that. Now, of course, she's entitled to it, but is she paying for it?
Well, of course she's paying for it. She makes a lot of money. Didn't she sell those sweatshirts for like a 50? Remember those sweatshirts?
The one she wore to the Met Gala.
Right. So like getting a lot
No,
of perks,
no,
guys.
I think-
private jets
I think-
with Bernie.
No, I think she's getting stock tips from Nancy Pelosi. That's how they all make their money.
Well, I think she's running for president. She's telling everyone, I'm going to postpone having my children. I'm going to run for president. And here's what I'm doing. I'm freezing my
Well, maybe
eggs.
we'll see a Kamala Harris and AOC ticket.
Oh, wait, maybe.
Whoa.
Or maybe it's AOC with the Mamdani. Who else could it be?
I don't know, but all the voice changes are going to be pretty complicated.
That's true, right? Can you tell I'm from the Bronx and she's not? There's no
Not
doubt
forget
about
Newsom
that.
out there.
Welcome to my hands. All right, we're going to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much. All right, from calling a communist practical to claiming, speak of the devil, claiming Kamala actually won the election, to me finding myself agreeing with a commentator on CNN. You won't want to miss this next edition of Media Madness coming up next. So that was good.